But at this time of the year, sadly, there are some, well, they're dirtbags who I think need exposing. Firstly, to South Australia for you, where police say 5 victims have received phone calls from people claiming to be from the banks looking to pass on disaster relief funds. Now, these fraudulent callers have asked for the victims' bank details and have also targeted members of the public. It follows anecdotal reports of looting also in bushfire zones. Now, this community in the Adelaide Hills have lost almost 90 homes. 90 families.
I think they're scum. It makes me sick. And, you know, in these fires, we have seen the best of Australia. The overwhelming story of these fires is the best of Australians in their response. But in some cases, we've seen some ugly stuff, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Now, this community in the Adelaide Hills have almost lost 90 homes, 90 family treasures, a lot of memories, assets, the lot. And some mongrels think they're fair game to harass and steal from. Talk about kicking someone while they're down. And what disgusting animals does this rotten stuff? Who are they? Meanwhile, to the second bunch of Christmas dirtbags in Townsville's north, the O'Neill family from Burdell woke to a scene of utter destruction in their front yard this week. A group of 6 vandals, now he knows that because he caught them on CCTV, they just wrecked a garden display of 30,000 lights worth $7,000. Now, can you imagine how devastated the family's 2 toddlers would have been waking up to see that? Wires were cut, displays kicked over, and light trees just snapped in pieces. What total and utter heartless mongrels. Just low dogs. Which brings me to another destroyer of a different kind. A former Prime Minister who cannot help himself kick and spit at the party who rightly dumped him. I wondered how long it would take before the president of the miserable old ghost club, Malcolm Turnbull, joined the pummeling of Scott Morrison over bushfire leadership. Well, it happened yesterday. He couldn't help himself retweet this very harsh commentary from the Financial Times. The scale of Australia's wildlife emergency has been exacerbated by a regrettable lack of leadership from the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison. How? How have the flames burnt more bushland because of that? How have they destroyed more homes because of a lack of leadership? The angry PM pylon has been a beat-up. It's all about blaming Morrison for not reducing CO2 emissions below what our Paris Agreement dictates. That's what it's all about. There would not be one scientist in the entire world blaming him for a bad fire season in Australia. There's not one iota of evidence of that. But that's why there's this aggro pylon because of his family holiday. And true to form, right on cue, Turnbull puts the boot in a day before Christmas. He's exacerbated the fires. What a vindictive, foolish statement to make from Malcolm Turnbull. I'll tell you what constitutes a lack of leadership. Running a 6-week election campaign as he did and clocking off each day at midday, like as if we weren't worthy of his time and his leadership. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did in 2016. MIA, missing in action. I think old ghosts in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.